Greetings and blessings to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, gonna go over a couple of things for this video. First off, the Pro Wrestling Wave Catch the Wave 2024 tournament has begun. So, a couple of results have been generated, so I will go over the current standings of the Catch the Wave 2024 tournament. And then I'm going to give my reviews of both TNA Under Siege and then finish off with UJPW All Together. That's right, the big collab show that took place this past, technically, Monday. But, yeah, gonna go review both of those shows. I do want to say, starting out, just a couple of shout-outs. First off, there has been a title change in World Wonder Ring Stardom, and I have to give a big congratulations to Hazuki and Koguma, Fukuoka Double Crazy, as they have been able to dethrone Crazy Star in their hometown of Fukuoka, Japan, to become the 3-time Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions. And they have made history as well, as they are the only team to have won the titles together 3 times. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fukuoka Double Crazy make history. They are now 3-time Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions, and what was a phenomenal match between both of these teams from start to finish. And I know some say it might have been kind of sudden. I mean, after all, May Sarah lost the High Speed Championship back in Philly last month, and then now just lost the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Championships with Suzu Suzuki. So, makes me wonder, where did they go from here with Crazy Star? And we do know that O2 Line, which is Azumi and Miyu Amasaki, have challenged for the tag titles. So that'll take place, I believe, later this week. So already Fukuoka Double Crazy has their first challengers. But yeah, Fukuoka Double Crazy, one of my favorite tag teams in Stardom, and they just became 3-time champs. Also supporting some new ring gear as well. So I thought that was really cool to see. Just awesome. But yeah, I had to get that in there. And also, I wanted to say that I really like what Stardom has been doing lately with doing live streams and pay-per-views with a good handful of their shows. Looks like they've really been stepping it up with doing that, and hopefully the infrastructure will get better and Stardom World will continue to improve. But gotta love the effort of what they're doing so far, stepping up their game with doing more live streams and more pay-per-views, not just pay-per-views of big shows, you know what I mean? So I really like what they've been doing. So definitely keep up the good work, and we'll see how things continue to go. But anyway, let's get into the current standings for the Catch the Wave tournament. We're just going to go through each block and I'll just go over some of the things that have happened. Sound good? Let's get into it. Okay. So starting with the young block, we've already had some matches take place. So let's look at the current standings in young block A. So right now, sitting at the bottom with 0 points on a record of 0-1 is Yuzuki. She ate a loss to Honoka. So not able to get on the board yet, but she's got 2 matches left, so it's going to have to do something soon. Okay. And then we have 3 ladies with 2 points each, which are Honoka, Sia, and Yuna. So let's take a look at Yuna. Right now, she's 1-0 with 2 points, has only had 1 match, which she was able to pick up a victory over Sia. She has 2 matches left. Sia, right now, 2 points on a 1-1 record. She has a victory over Honoka, but a loss to Yuna. And then Honoka, 2 points, record of 1-1. A victory over Yuzuki and a loss to Sia. And both Yuna and Sia have 1 match left. So this block is pretty much almost done. Honoka, her final match is against Yuna. So she has an opportunity to finish 2-1 with 4 points. Same thing with Sia. She has an opportunity to finish 2-1 as well if she can defeat Yuzuki. Yuna still has an opportunity to go undefeated. She's got 2 matches left against Honoka and Yuzuki. And Yuzuki still has an opportunity to go 2-1 if she can pick up victories over Sia and Yuna. So it's looking pretty tight in the young block A. So we'll see how this goes. We'll definitely see how this goes. All right, let's go to the young block B. So nothing has started yet for young block B. So hopefully matches in this block will get started soon, but nothing to report from young block B. All right, let's go to the Elizabeth block. Okay, so a couple of matches have happened in the Elizabeth block, including a 3WD Queen Elizabeth Championship match. So, starting from the bottom, we have one competitor that has a 0-2 record and -2 points, and that is Sakura Hirota. And she has -2 points because in both Elizabeth block matches, she got pinned. So, originally was the Queen Elizabeth champion, which now belongs to Chikayo Nagashima, who pinned Sakura Hirota to win that title in that title match. So that means that if Sakura Hirota eats another pin or submission, then she will reach -3 points and therefore will be disqualified from this tournament. So, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and label her as in danger of elimination. Because if she eats another pin or submission, then she's disqualified. So she's got to really be careful. She's got to start racking up wins so she can increase that score. Okay. You got 3 ladies sitting at 0 points, which are Cherry, Kaori Yoneyama, and Himiko. Himiko right now has yet to compete in a match, so she's 0-0. Cherry and Kaori Yoneyama are both 0-1, even though they weren't the recipients of being pinned or submitted. But they still lost the match that they were in. They just didn't get submitted or get pinned. Therefore, they didn't score any points. And then right now, sitting at the top with a record of 1-0 is Yuki Miyazaki, who is the current Regina de Wave champion. She picked up a victory, and therefore you get 1 point for a victory. So it's not a comfortable lead, but it is a lead, and she's at the top. And remember, with the Elizabeth block, it's the woman that has the highest score by the time we reach July 14th. That determines the winner. So, we'll see what happens. But Sakura Hirota cannot afford to be pinned or submitted, or else she's disqualified. Alright, let's go to Nami Block A. So far, we have had only one match happen in Nami Block A. And right now, we have 3 ladies, 0 points, which are Nanami, Saya Kamatani, and Risa Sera. Although Risa Sera is 0-1 after the loss to Yuko Sakurai. So right now, Yuko Sakurai at the top of the Nami block so far with 2 points, 1-0 with her win over Risa Sera. But Risa Sera and Yuko Sakurai have 2 matches left. The other ladies still have to wrestle their 3 matches. Alright, Nami Block B. Nami Block B, only 1 match has happened so far, and it ended in a draw between Saki and Maika Ozaki. Came to a draw, so both get a point due to a draw. So both of them are 0-1. The other 2 ladies are 0-0, which are Haruka Umesaki and Momoko Hanazono. They haven't wrestled their matches yet. But coming up on May the 12th, we will get Haruka Umesaki versus Saki. They will have their block match. So that's already on the schedule. So that should be good. But Saki and Maika Ozaki have 2 matches left. The other 2 ladies have their 3 matches. Alright. Nami Block C. So far, only 1 match has happened, which was Kakeru Sakaguchi versus Izuki Aoki. And right now, Kakeru Sakaguchi, Ayame Sasamura, and Sai have 0 points, but Kakeru Sakaguchi has the 0-1 record with the loss to Izuki Aoki. Ayame Sasamura and Sai are 0-0. And right now, sitting at the top of Nami Block C is Izuki Aoki. 2 points, 1-0 with the victory over Kakeru Sakaguchi. Izuki Aoki and Kakeru Sakaguchi both have 2 matches left. The other ladies have their 3 matches left. And then we have the Nami Lucha block, which just got started today, I believe. Just got started today. Right now, only 1 match, and that was between Ancham and Dark Silhouette, which Dark Silhouette was able to get the victory. So the other ladies, Kohaku, Taihonma, Ancham, have 0 points. Ancham is 0-1 with the loss to Dark Silhouette. Dark Silhouette 1-0, 2 points. The win over Ancham. So Ancham and Dark Silhouette have 2 matches left. Kohaku, Taihonma have their 3 matches to wrestle. So just a little bit of a start with the Catch the Wave tournament. And like I said, they're going to take their time with it. They're definitely going to take their time with this tournament like they usually do. I mean, they usually have the tournament expanded across at least 2 months. So they have it pretty spaced out. But we'll see how things go once the schedule kind of picks up a little bit. And yeah, should be interesting. But so far, Sakura Hirota could be the first one to be eliminated like that. So we'll see what happens. But looking at each of the blocks, like I said, Young Block A, or actually, let me go back to it. So Young Block A, like I said, Yuna has 2 matches left. Honoka and Sia have 1 match left, so I don't know when they wrestle their matches, but they gotta definitely make their last matches count. And hopefully they'll get started on Young Block B soon. Elizabeth Block, like I said, that's gonna go all the way up to July 14th. So it'll be interesting to see how many matches they do within that block. Nami Block really just got started. Nami Block A, that is. Same with B, but they got a scheduled match coming up. Same thing with Nami Block C and the Lucha Block as well. So should be interesting. Should be really interesting to see how things pick up going forward. Okay. Let's go ahead and transition to the first review, which I'll be reviewing TNA Under Siege. TNA Under Siege. Let's see. This took place at the Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, New York. This was this past Friday, May 3rd. It was all right. I'm not gonna say this was an excellent pay-per-view. I thought it was all right. They changed a couple of things with a few of the matches. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't have a graphic for this first match, but they started off with a singles match in the pre-show. So they had 3 pre-show matches, 3 Countdown to Under Siege matches. First match was Rhino versus VSK. Singles match. Honestly, nothing really special from that match. I mean, it was decent, but I can't say there was anything special in that match. Not going to say it was great, not going to say it was bad, but it was really just, That's all I can really say. But, it wasn't a long match. I think that match was barely 4 or 5 minutes. But Rhino hits a gore, pins VSK for the 1-2-3. Rhino's your winner. Plain and simple as that. All right. The next match, which I guess I'll pull up the graphic for this one. I mean, not like they really did anything detailed with this one, but they did have the F.B.I, the full-blooded Italians, in action. Specifically, it was Zack, Clayton, and Ray Jazz. Of course, they were accompanied by Guido. Anyway, the match that they had was a tag team match against a team that I know very well a long time ago from my time of watching Chikara. They went up against the Batiri. That's right, Obariyon and Kodama, the Batiri, a team I haven't seen in a hot minute. So it was good to see that they got an opportunity to compete on TNA. But once again, this match wasn't long. This match was not long at all. I mean, this was apparently a 4-minute, 16-second long match. I feel like the Batiri didn't really get to do much, but it is what it is. They just didn't get to do much. Zack Clayton gets the pin on Kodama after Ray Jazz hits a diving elbow drop off the top rope. So, would have liked to have seen more out of the Batiri, but the match wasn't long. So, it is what it is. And then lastly, to finish up the pre-show for Under Siege, they actually had a TNA Digital Media Championship match where Laredo Kid, the champion, defended against KC Navarro. Which KC Navarro I got a chance to see while I was in Philadelphia. So, another very familiar name. But match was like 6 or 7 minutes long, so I mean, it was longer than the other two matches, but doesn't really say much, to be honest with you. But it was a decent match for what time was allotted. It was a decent match, but Laredo Kid was able to hit the Laredo Fly, kind of like the Spanish Fly, on KC Navarro off the top turnbuckle, pinned him for the 1-2-3. Laredo Kid still your TNA Digital Media Champion. And that concluded the pre-show, the countdown to Under Siege. So, let's go ahead and get into the main card of Under Siege. Alright, let's go. Okay, they started off the main card with the tag team match of Josh Alexander and Eric Young taking on Frankie Kazarian and Steve Maclin. Josh Alexander came to the ring with an extra set of headgear for Eric Young, which, you know, he put on. So they both had on headgear for their match. For the most part, pretty decent match. Both teams went kind of back and forth. Match was a little over 12 minutes. So, not too bad for opening the main card. But Eric Young was able to get the victory for his team after nailing Kazarian with a pile driver, then pinning him for the 1-2-3. And Eric Young and the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, pick up the victory in the opening contest on the main card. Alright, let's keep it going with the next match. So, what was originally going to be part of the pre-show got moved to the main card. So we had a singles match, By Elegance versus Havok. I gotta keep it real with y'all. I was bored out of my mind during this match. I felt like Ash did so much smack talk and kind of backing off, regathering herself. Like, this match was just boring. It was really, really boring. And I wasn't feeling this match. But Ash was able to get a small package pin in the midst of Havok trying to suplex her. Got the small package reversal pin for the 1-2-3, and Ash, by Elegance, was able to get the victory on Havok. And then she kind of beat her down some after the match, even gave her a DDT onto the floor outside of the ring. But honestly, the match was boring. I think that match was barely even like 5 minutes. So boring. But it is what it is. Anyway, next match. Here we go. Alright, next up, had another singles match. This time we had Joe Hendry versus one half of the the Rascals, Zachary Wentz. I gotta be honest, I was a little disappointed. I felt like this match had potential, had some really good potential, but it was too short. Match was only 5 minutes, 13 seconds. Match was too short. I like Zachary Wentz, his work in the ring. I like Joe Hendry. I really would have loved to have seen more action between these two. But it was only a 5 minute, 13 second match. So, really, really a letdown. Really a letdown. But Joe Hendry gets the victory, hitting Zachary Wentz with a standing ovation, then pinning him for the 1-2-3. Keep on believing in Joe Hendry. He just picked up another win. Ugh. Okay. Next match. Had ourselves a title match. Alrighty. We had the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champs, Spitfires, Jody Threat and Dani Luna defended against the recently formed team of Alisha Edwards and Masha Slamovich. Match was okay, but still really, really short. Still really short. This match apparently was 6 minutes, 30 seconds long. And I really feel like with this being one of the few title matches on this card, this should have been a longer match. Because, I mean, when you think about it, there's only 3 title matches for the show, with one of them being in the pre-show. So I really felt like it was a letdown. I was hoping that they would really extend this match, at least past 10 minutes. But only 6 minutes, 30 seconds long. Really a letdown. Because I really wanted to see these two teams go at it. But Alisha Edwards hits Jody Threat with kind of a double arm DDT. Almost kind of like a pedigree when you think about it. On Jody Threat, pinned her for the 1-2-3. Alisha Edwards, Masha Slamovich are your new TNA Knockout World Tag Team Champions. And now, Alisha Edwards not only gets her first championship in TNA, but she now, as part of the system, has a title with the rest of the members of the system. So, congrats to her. And she had been in TNA for at least a good, 4, maybe 5 years or something like that. So, you know, it's kind of cool to see her finally taste some gold. So, happy for her. But like I said, the match could have been better. The match could have been so much better. All right, let's go to the next match. Okay, now this was originally supposed to be Hammerstone versus Jake something, but word is that Hammerstone is injured, so they ended up changing this match to Jake something versus Rich Swann. At least this match went over 10 minutes, 11:32 to be exact. But I felt like there was a good amount of interference just throughout the match from AJ Francis, of course, who was in the corner of Rich Swann. But at least we did get to see some moments where Jake Something had some decent offense. Um, a really weird turn of events, though, was Cody Deaner coming out, getting on the mic and talking some smack. Then him and AJ Francis brawled. Then AJ Francis dropped him. And it just started going downhill for Jake Something afterwards as Rich Swann took advantage of distraction and was able to put away Jake Something, hitting a frog splash off the top rope and pinning him for the 1-2-3. And Rich Swann gets the victory over Jake Something. To be honest, I can't really take Rich Swann as a heel seriously. I can't. I really can't. I really don't think he's a good heel. I think he should have stayed a face. I just can't take him seriously as a heel. I can't. Nope. I can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. Anyway, let's go to the next match. We had a singles match between Jonathan Gresham and KUSHIDA. And while this was a pretty decent match, didn't hit the 10-minute mark. Was really, really unfortunate. Jonathan Gresham supporting a whole new look, I guess, alter ego. He kind of had the mask on. Kind of gave me the Great Muta / Drago from Lucha Underground type of vibes. You know what I mean? Y'all remember Drago? That's what it kind of gave me. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Interesting new look / gimmick for Jonathan Gresham. Still had a pretty good back and forth match between him and KUSHIDA. Jonathan Gresham started spitting up, like, I guess that's supposed to be ink, being that he's an octopus, the octopus, and kind of blinded KUSHIDA with that, and then just spat some on his hand and just gave him like a claw to his face, almost kind of like an iron claw, so to speak, but just with that mist or ink on it. Put the claw on him, took him to the ground, and pretty much the referee counted as a pin, 1, 2, 3. And Jonathan Gresham picks up the victory, and KUSHIDA, like, getting carried off like he had been poisoned. But this is an interesting new look / gimmick for Jonathan Gresham. It's unique. That's all I'll say. We'll see what it does for him, especially now that he's officially part of the TNA roster. He's under contract and all that. So we'll see what happens with that. But decent match, though. Okay. Let's go to the next match. Alrighty, we had ourselves a tag team match. We had PCO and Jordynne Grace taking on Steph DeLander and Khan. To be honest, I really didn't care that much for this match. Because, I mean, I don't mind the back and forth between Jordynne Grace and Steph DeLander, but I'm really getting sick and tired of this back and forth between PCO and Khan. Like, it's getting old. It's been old. So it really put a foul taste in my mouth with this match overall. Like, it was good to see Jordynne Grace, battle off with Khan as well. I mean, that was cool to see that. But just the matchup and just seeing the back and forth between PCO and Khan, I'm like, they've ran this over and over the last handful of times between these two. Like, they need to end this rivalry, like, seriously, because it's boring. But Jordynne Grace pins Steph DeLander with the Juggernaut driver. 1, 2, 3. PCO and Jordynne Grace with the win. At least it was over a 10-minute match. So at least that was good. All right. Next match. This next match was definitely the best match on the whole entire card. We had the X Division Championship on the line as the champion Mustafa Ali defended against the inevitable Ace Austin. Aside from Ali's cabinet security interfering, this was a solid match. I mean, just a really solid match from one champion to a multiple-time X Division champion. I mean, both Ace and Ali went at it. It was a great showcase. It was the longest match on the entire freaking card. Or actually, no, this was the second longest. Because the main event pretty much took up the biggest amount of time of the entire card. But this was a great showcase between both these competitors. And, Ali's cabinet security pretty much were the deciding factor, with the distractions and the attacking of Ace Austin to give Mustafa Ali the opening to drop Ace Austin, then finish him off with a 450 splash, pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Mustafa Ali still your X Division champion. So, I think he'll have that title for a good while, but it'll be interesting to see who will finally defeat him. If you ask me, I would love for that to be KUSHIDA, but that's just me. But definitely my favorite match of the whole card, and what I thought was the best match of the whole card. And then the main event of TNA Under Siege. This came down to a 6-man tag match. We had the system made up of tag champs Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Moose, going up against the trio of Matt Hardy and Speedball Mountain, which is Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. I mean, what can I say? This match definitely went the distance. There was some interference here and there. Of course, Alisha Edwards was in attendance, but the action was good. This match went over 23 minutes, so at least this was treated like a main event. I'll give them credit. This was treated like a main event. Speedball and Trent Seven were both dressed up very similar to Matt Hardy, to Broken Matt Hardy. So they really played up that gimmick. But overall, the match was great. But the system would finish on top as Eddie Edwards pinned Trent Seven for the 1, 2, 3 after a backpack stunner elbow drop combo between him and Brian Myers. And just like that, the system go 2-0 at Under Siege. So, congrats to them. But I gotta keep it real with y'all. This was a pretty terrible show. It was weak. It was really weak. A lot of the matches just weren't that interesting. And they were really short. Really, really short. So, yeah, I know this was on TNA Plus, but yeah, Under Siege was very underwhelming. Like, if this ended up being a pay-per-view you'd have to pay for, oh, I would have been mad. I would have been mad. Because this was not worthy to be a pay-per-view. That's why at least it was for TNA Plus subscribers. But yeah, Under Siege 2024, not that good. Really not that good. But before we switch gears to All Together, which I can tell you right now was definitely a better show, here's a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves limited edition makeup collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty. We now switch gears to United Japan Pro Wrestling All Together, which this was a big charity collaboration show that took place yesterday, May 6th. This was at the Tokyo Nippon Budokan. Had a decent number of matches and was a pretty enjoyable show overall. But let's go ahead and let's get into these matches. First up, we had a trios match. We had the team of Naomichi Marufuji, Sanshiro Takagi, and Mr. Ace President Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on House of Torture's Yujiro Takahashi, Ren Narita, and Evil. Overall, the match was pretty decent, but what I thought would happen ended up happening, unfortunately, with the shenanigans. Because it is House of Torture. And not only that, we saw a combo attack with not only a wrench, but also the push-up bar simultaneously. It was pretty crazy. Really, really crazy. But that ending sequence was just, yeah. And then Evil finished off Mr. Ace President with an Everything is Evil, and then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. House of Torture picking up the victory in the opening contest. for House of Torture, as usual. But at least it was a decent match. Alright. Let's go into our next match, which I thought this had a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Okay, next match. We had a singles match. We had Keno taking on TMDK's Kosei Fujita. I like how Kosei Fujita got off to a hot start, trying to take out Keno early, you know, just with the high-flying action. Thought this was a pretty good match. I just wish it was longer. It went over the 9-minute mark. I really wish this could have lasted like at least 12 minutes, in my personal opinion. You know, to really have Kosei Fujita showcased a little more against an opponent like Keno, who, you know, Fujita came into this as the underdog, no doubt about that. But I would have liked to have seen him showcase a little more, being that he's going up against Keno, and gave a pretty good fight. He gave a pretty good fight. But Keno would get the victory, hitting Kosei Fujita with a PFS and pinning him for the 1-2-3. Afterwards, was trying to shake his hand to show sportsmanship. Fujita slapped him and just kind of pushed him off, so he wasn't... I guess he wasn't too happy about that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But a pretty good match, just wish it lasted longer, that's all. Alright, let's go to our next match, where we got to see the Ladies of Stardom showcase. Alrighty, we had ourselves a tag team match. We had the team of Natsupoi and Starlight Kid, which apparently has been deemed, I believe, Mutual Love. I think that's their new name, Mutual Love. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Taking on O2 line of Queen's Quest, which is Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. Good match. Definitely a good match between both teams. Like I said, O2 line's next in contention for a shot at the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles. Starlight Kid, Natsupoi, great chemistry in this match. And, you know, good taste of high flying from both ladies, and definitely were in sync throughout this match. And it ended up working out for them well, as Starlight Kid was able to pin Miyu Amasaki with a Tiger Suplex for the 1-2-3. So, Mutual Love of Natsupoi and Starlight Kid are your winners. But here's the thing. Where does Starlight Kid go from here? So she's teamed up with Mai Iwatani, and Tam Nakano was on the winning side. And she just teamed up with Natsupoi. They're on the winning side. She's been able to do the Cosmic Angels dance. And her and Mayu reunited. They did their MK Sisters goodness. So when it comes down to it, what will Starlight Kid do? Would she join Cosmic Angels? Or does she reunite with Mayu Iwatani and rejoin Stars? That's really what this comes down to. Personally, if you ask me, I think Starlight Kid should stay unaffiliated for a while. At least for a while. I'm not saying it has to be 3 or 4 months, but I think she should stay unaffiliated for a while and kind of really feel things out. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Mei Sarah's not in a faction. Suzu Suzuki's not in a faction. So I I really would like to see some of these ladies just kind of go unaffiliated for a while and see how things develop. I will say this. Something tells me if Starlight Kid rejoins Stars, I think eventually Hazuki is going to bounce. But I don't know. That might be unlikely now that her and Koguma Fukuoka Double Crazy are tag champs again. So we'll see. But if I had to pick one, I'm kind of leaning more towards, I guess, Cosmic Angels. Yeah, I guess Cosmic Angels. Because I don't know. We'll see. But I guess it looks like there's a big story spot on Starlight Kid and really seeing what she ends up doing. You know what I mean? So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, let's go to our next match, which this was one of my favorite matches on the card. We had a tag team match that was bruising and hard hitting from both teams. We had the team of Daisuke Sekimoto and the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii taking on the current NJPW World Television Champion of Jeff Cobb, teamed up with Masa Kitamiya. This was a great solid match. Hard hitting between both teams, and I was loving it. Really loving it. Hard hitting, big meaty men slapping meat. But this was a very enjoyable match, and looks like this could lead to a future title shot because the Stone Pitbull ended up putting away Jeff Cobb with a sheer drop brainbuster and pinning him for the 1-2-3 to give himself and Daisuke Sekimoto the victory. So who knows, this could lead to perhaps Tomohiro Ishii being a challenger to Jeff Cobb's NJPW World Television Championship. We shall see. But I feel like that's opened the door for potential rivalry. Should be good. But that was an awesome match. A really awesome match. All right, let's go to the next matchup. All right, we had the juniors, the Super Juniors showcased. So we had ourselves a 10-man tag. Team number one, we had Kota Minoura, Mao, Ninja Mac, Hayata, and El Desperado taking on Hiromu Takahashi, Dragon Bane, Alpha Wolf, Yamato, and what originally was supposed to be Tetsuya Endo, but ended up suffering injury during the King of DDT tournament, got replaced by Shunma Katsumata, who's the current DDT Extreme Champion. Or actually no, he's not the Extreme Champion. That's Mao. What am I talking about? Let's see. Enjoyable match. A very enjoyable match. Very interesting how Hiromu Takahashi had like the eye paint that Yamato usually had, so it looked like they were kind of in sync quite a bit. Or actually, no, I was right. Shunma Katsumata, DDT Extreme Champion. Yeah, I was right. Originally right. Yeah, I was right. But yeah, this match was great. I felt like a lot of the high flying came a little bit later in the match, about middle of the match to later of the match. Was a little over 13 minutes, like about almost 13 and a half minute long match. But it was pretty enjoyable. I just love seeing the Super Juniors showcased, what they can do. And yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun. Kota Minoura actually got the pin on Yamato, kind of like a roll up, like reversal into a roll up, kind of, for the 1-2-3. And the team of Kota Minoura, Mao, Ninja Mac, Hayata, and El Desperado pick up the victory. And there was kind of some shoving back and forth between Yamato and Hiromu Takahashi. I don't think he took kindly to the outcome of the match. So there was a little bit of shoving and such. But it was an enjoyable match. Good to see the juniors showcased. This next match turned out to be quite interesting. Okay, we had a tag team match where we had the team of Kai and Taichi taking on the team of Zack Sabre Jr. and Chris Brooks. It was definitely very interesting to see Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi on opposite sides, as you know, they were formerly the Dangerous Techers. But overall, pretty solid match. Definitely enjoyed it. I love the pairing of Chris Brooks and Zack Sabre Jr. I hope to see more of that. But it was a pretty good, solid match, and Kai did a whole lot of taunting in this match, and even busted out a chair and whatnot. But at the end, Taichi was actually able to pin Chris Brooks with a Gato clutch for the 1-2-3. Kai and Taichi pick up the victory, and then there was a moment where Kai, tried to beat down Taichi, and even though Chris Brooks and Zack Sabre Jr. were getting ready to leave, they actually came back and was able to pretty much take care of Kai and stood tall with Taichi. And gotta love the sportsmanship, the respect shown from Chris Brooks and Zack Sabre Jr. to Taichi. I mean, after all, like I said, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr. were part of Suzuki-gun. They were the Dangerous Techers. They were former IWGP tag champs. So, a lot of history there. But, happy ending for all three of those gentlemen as they showed sportsmanship. So, and, it was good to see them actually come down and save Taichi as he was getting attacked by Kai. So, that was pretty cool to see. All right. Let's go into the next match. Which, this was a good one. This was a really good one. We had LIJ's Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji taking on David Finlay and Gabe Kidd of Bullet Club War Dogs. And Jake Lee joins the fray. Like I said, this was a great, solid match between both these teams. I really loved the exchanges between Shingo and Gabe Kidd. And to be honest, I was kind of surprised with how the finish was, but I thought it was pretty cool. Bullet Club just pretty much laid waste to Tetsuya Naito in the end, and then Jake Lee pretty much finished him off with an FPS, then pinned him for the 1-2-3, and just Bullet Club and Jake Lee just stood strong and tall over LIJ, and Naito looked like he had just been rocked by a train. And, you know, like I said, I like what they're doing with Gabe Kidd. They're really, really building him up, you know, as smack talker and as a threat. So I like what they're doing there. But this was a good, solid match. Really good, solid match. And then the main event of All Together came down to just one more trios match. All right, the main event had the team of Yuki Ueno, Kaito Kiyomiya, who just recently won the GHC Heavyweight Championship, and Shota Umino going up against the team of Shun Skywalker, Konosuke Takeshita, and Yuya Uemura. This was a phenomenal main event. I felt like all 6 men were showcased really well. Did some really great sequences throughout this match. Especially Takeshita and Kaito Kiyomiya. I really liked the back and forth there. Also like the back and forth with Shun Skywalker, Yuki Ueno, and even Shota Umino. I mean, just a lot of great sequences in this match. Either team very capable of winning. And this match went the distance and showed that it was worthy of being the main event. But when it was all said and done, it would be the GHC champion himself putting away Yuya Uemura with a modified Shining Wizard and pinning him for the 1-2-3. And Kaito Kiyomiya picks up the victory for him, Shota Umino, and Yuki Ueno. So, great main event. Everybody involved in the show came out, took a big group picture. They had confetti come down all over the place. And then all of a sudden, as folks were leaving, and it was just Kaito Kiyomiya, Bullet Club War Dogs show up, beat down Shota Umino, and Gabe Kidd beats down and pile drives Kaito Kiyomiya. And took his championship. So Gabe Kidd, who wasn't able to beat Shingo for the Never Openweight Championship, now has an opportunity at the GHC Heavyweight Championship. So Gabe Kidd is staying busy. He's making a statement, and he's staying busy. And he's putting himself in the title opportunities. You gotta give him credit. He's putting himself in title opportunities. And he's got another one coming up, not only with this GHC Heavyweight Championship match, but don't forget, he's got the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship match at Resurgence against Eddie Kingston. So, Gabe Kidd staying busy. I love it. I really love it. But this was a solid show. And like I said, this was a charity event as well. But a great collab show. And felt like it did well. Definitely tons better than TNA Under Siege. I mean, I just got to keep it real with y'all. But great show. And yeah, definitely enjoyed it. That'll do it for this video. A couple of other things, because I know that there's even much coming up this week. Once they reveal the bracket for the SmackDown bracket for the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, I'll probably do a recap. Just, you know, with the current standings and whatnot. Also got to do a preview of the opening day of the Best of Super Juniors. Or actually, nah, I'll do a review of that when they have the first show. Because I've already gone over the blocks for that. Got to preview NJPW Strong Resurgence. That's coming up. We got the full card set for Marigold Fields Forever, so I got to preview that. Just got a good amount of stuff coming up. So, a lot to look forward to. But don't forget to check out Game Beauty. Use that promo code for your shopping. Let me know y'all's honest thoughts about both of these shows, All Together and TNA Under Siege. Did you like the shows? What'd you think of the matches? Let me know y'all's thoughts. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next live stream and or video. Peace and laters.